Gene, all I'm doing is reading your disclosures. NVIDIA is not your property. Why not? I don't personally own NVIDIA. Have you already noticed the overwhelming negativity? All I heard was that, well, we've been up big for 2 straight years, and we're due for a pullback. Or that these are dangerous times like the 1930s. High tariffs, collapsing trade, the 10-year Treasury heading to 5% because of inflation, an ineffective Fed, overextended stocks, the bull on its last legs. This was true even though the stock market was up nicely this morning before the midday swoon. The close down finishing down 2 points, the S&P dropping 2%, and the Nasdaq losing 0.6%. Yes, I understand, but it's easy to be a bear in this industry. No one will remember your bad predictions if equities rise, right? It will make you a hero if markets decline. We shall worship you and sing your praises. Because of your street cred, you'll be paraded out every time the market drops significantly, making you the big G. And you see that bear go. I adore that creature. You know me anyway. Yes, it was a bad day, similar to last week, but I want to take the opposite approach. I'd like to share with you 10 potential outcomes that could work in the bull's favor. Let's say that they make me want to be a little more optimistic than the others, but they're not ripping, roaring, or stomping the bear's hair. Since no one else is, I must tell you what can go well. What do you know? I enjoy solitude. Being by myself was one of the highlights of my recently concluded trip. I'm joking. Let's discuss NVIDIA. The crucial query is this. In 2025, will NVIDIA still be a winner? Your bull case, what is it? Thank you for having me, Em. In essence, as the release of NVIDIA's Blackwell chip drew near, the company's stock halted toward the end of last year. Therefore, how well they do during this launch will be crucial for the stock going forward. When the delivery numbers rise up, we see a lot more potential. We estimate that this product launch alone will generate over $200 billion in income for them this year. We therefore perceive a lot of benefits. Getting this product off the ground in the first several quarters will be crucial. What sort of downward pressure do you believe we've seen over the last month or so? Do you think that needs to be fixed? Yes, Midikan, that's precisely it. These delivery figures, I believe. People are still worried about whether Blackwell will be able to produce it on time and without any overheating problems, as well as whether they are demonstrating the product enhancement we are hoping for. Thus, those were the difficulties that we were hearing from clients about that the corporation never really mentioned. Therefore, there are several factors to consider when integrating the product. The concern is whether the product is working well for customers after they install it, not if it is functioning properly. What is your list of worries, and what type of criteria do you use when evaluating a stock like NVIDIA? Therefore, value is crucial to us. NVIDIA's stock appears to be highly appealing on a number of levels due to the growth in earnings. You will therefore notice that EBITDA, which is our primary objective for the upcoming year, is trading at the middle or lower end of the historical range. Additionally, it is now less expensive than equities that we also like, such as Marvell and Broadcom. Accordingly, it appears to be highly appealing from a valuation standpoint. Yes, discuss your bull case for some of those other AI plays with me. NVIDIA will essentially continue to dominate the market as the cycle progresses due to their CUDA advantage. On the other hand, many of the hyperscalers, such as Amazon, will manufacture their own chips and sell them. Due to their partnerships with Amazon and Broadcom, Marvell and Google will be assisting these businesses in launching their own chips, which are expected to gain a substantial portion of the market over the next years. However, we still believe that NVIDIA's growth will continue to be significantly stronger due to their software advantage when compared to the current state of the market or what the market is assuming. Although Vistra, a nuclear energy play, was the first, and I know that Vistra and Constellation are among your favorites, NVIDIA is undoubtedly the second biggest gainer year to date in 2024. Discuss your case for those names with me. As the AI trade has expanded, we are now entering a phase where data centers and the electricity that goes with them need to be physically built out. The U.S. has experienced a period of time during which the grid and generating side power infrastructure has not been significantly modernized. Therefore, the grid's reliability has significantly decreased as we've introduced more renewable energy sources to the market. In order to encourage new supply to enter the market, we will therefore witness a surge in. Taking a step back, I suppose, there has been a lot of discussion about whether the AI story is exaggerated and whether this year will be the year when the investment truly pays off and we see those applications. How do you interpret their inquiries? Do you believe the questions themselves are exaggerated? If you dig behind the hood, you'll notice a lot of apps that we currently use today. So I do believe the questions are overdone. In terms of search, the transformer model, a new AI, has significantly changed how we currently conduct searches. These are really large apps, so even though they are essentially replacing earlier searches, you aren't really seeing an increase in revenue from them. As we move forward, we anticipate a great deal more innovation in the physical realm, including autonomous robotics and quantum computers. In order to develop some of these applications for the future, you're utilizing the AI models today. Therefore, I believe that even if this is the first year, it might be the first year next year. Therefore, it appears that we are still in the early stages of developing the applications. In 2025, do you think the AI market will expand to include some of those mid and small cap firms? Because it raises another question. When will some of those lesser names start to gain from AI in addition to the hyperscalers? Of course. Therefore, we believe that this year will be the year that the effects start to spread. For example, 2 years ago, it was just NVIDIA, but last year it was NVIDIA, a few hyperscalers, and certain custom chip suppliers. Additionally, I believe that as the cycle progresses, you will see some of the software brands associated with data infrastructure and cybersecurity, followed by applications such as robots and autonomy. It does make one wonder what NVIDIA will do with all of the money it is making. What do you believe to be the most appropriate response? Share buybacks, I believe, are most likely to return it to shareholders. I think the 25x value is really tempting, so I believe that's probably the simplest approach. Since they don't now need to make any acquisitions, I believe they're likely following the tried and true route of dividends and share buybacks. For NVIDIA in particular, we most likely will see something along those lines around 2025. In fact, we practically have to. Gene, all I'm doing is reading your disclosures. NVIDIA is not your property. Why not? I don't personally own NVIDIA. At the end of the day, I believe that the obvious trade is still going on, which is why our company, Deepwater, does hold NVIDIA. There is a lot of expectation, in my opinion, that this company's growth will drastically slow down. Some even believe that it might even drop in 2026. Deepwater controls it, though, since, as I indicated, I believe we're still in the early stages of the AI build-out. You do, however, personally own Tesla and Apple. If you're so sure about it, why not NVIDIA? I don't start with the highest level if I were going to sort of force rank those three. I don't think it's necessarily a criticism on NVIDIA because I don't have many firms in my personal account. It has more to do with my beliefs on Tesla and Apple. Therefore, your strongest conviction stocks remain Apple and Tesla, as those are the ones you